Hello, buddy. Bye, Richard. With the records I played today. Well, actually, it's the records I played all this weekend and part of last week, but whatever. But before I start that, I want to bring up a couple of things. Once in a while, I'm not everybody's into sports, so you can tune this out. I won't go on too long. Once in a while, there's somebody that transforms a sport. I don't know if you youngsters remember when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird entered the NBA. It completely changed the sport of basketball. Before that, even the playoff games were they weren't shown live on live TV. They were shown after the 11 o'clock news or the 10 o'clock news. You know, they were pre-recorded and they were on tape delay. But the interest that Magic Johnson and Larry Bird brought to the league, the game started being shown on regular, hours, primetime hours. Before that, I think it was just one game that was played on a Sunday. And that was it, man, for the NBA games. Tiger Woods transformed golf. Now, the WNBA is going through a transformation right now because of the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. She's changing the WNBA, the way women's basketball. I don't know if she's changing the way it's played. She's bringing in a lot of new fans, and I think she is kind of changing the game, the speed of the game, the passing. She's already broken records of, assists and scoring records for a rookie. The Olympic team, they really screwed up when they didn't have Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, two rookies, on the Olympic team. It would have generated so much interest. Now, I think the second game that the Olympic team played, they got 1.2 million viewers. This past Sunday, the Fever played the Seattle or whatever, the Mystics or whatever. And that game got 1.2 million viewers. And it's on Ion TV. Ion TV. And they're getting the same amount of eyeballs on the game that the Olympic team did, with all the promotion that the Olympics and NBC, the big major, whatever. My last video was 10 drinking songs. I was very disappointed. I thought this was going to take off. I thought it was a great idea for a thread. But instead, the knuckleheads in the VC they're showing, bands with suits or some, boring, Show me a picture of a guy in a suit. Whatever. Mega Jeff, he did one. And the Hogs Ear Report, he did one. Other than that, I don't know of anybody else that did a drinking song video. But yeah, I no respect, Richie. Maybe my times in the VC are numbered. It's just the VC has passed me by, and it's a new crowd, a new crew that are into some lame ass shit. But anyways, I showed some country and I showed some blues on that video. And last week I listened to a lot of country and blues, and I was listening to them, grading them and logging them into Discogs. And this is one, Muddy Waters, Mud in Your Ear. Now this is 67, I believe. A great band he had in the 60s, Muddy Waters. This album doesn't feature Muddy Waters on vocals though. He's playing guitar. In fact, there's 3 guitarists on here. That's what I dig. But Luther Johnson sings most of the vocals. Really rough sounding vocalist. Pretty cool. Like the first song, Digging My Potatoes, it's a really rough sounding vocals. Then the second one, Watchdog, is sung by George Mojo Buford the harmonica player, and he's got a smoother voice, so there's a contrast there. But that the Moho Bruford guy, he only sings a few songs. But yeah, this is really good. It's pretty straight up blues, Chicago type blues. Not for psychedelic. But yeah, this is a really good album. Really, really strong beer drinking music. And I played one other one and logged it into Discogs. And this is Muddy Waters, Can't Get No Grindin'. Look at this picture of him in a motel room. I'm assuming that's in a motel room. This is like a 70s, early 70s, 73 or something. On chess. And this one has some electric keyboards in it, which kind of, not on all the songs, but yeah, the first song, Can't Get No Grindin', it has some electric keyboards in it, and it kind of like throws you for a loop. But other than that, this is a really good, fun record. And yeah, Mother's Bad Luck Child, that is great. Funky Butt. It's a good album. Some people might not be able to get past the electric Fender Rhodes, but it's pretty cool. And I got a Buck Owens and his Buckaroos. It takes people like you to make people like me, which was a single. And I think the other single on here is Where Does the Good Times Go? But this is a great, every song on here is just a great, upbeat, fun time music. And yeah, this is really good. Not a bad song on it, man. And I'm going to show one more country one that I listened to and logged into Discogs. It's the Waylon Jennings, Honky Tonk Heroes. This is a fantastic. This is a little more honky tonk gritty than that Buck Owens. It's got the single Honky Tonk Heroes. I believe it's a single. It became a staple. He played it with Willie Nelson a lot. And yeah, this is a good one. Ain't No God in Mexico. Now, I normally don't show my new vinyl finds in these, but I'm going to show this one. I just picked this record up. It's the Buzzcocks Time's Up. And it's demos from 1977, I believe. Doesn't even say on here. But I think it's either 76 or 77 demos. I guess I could look. Oh well. I thought it said somewhere. Anyways, I was surprised how much I like this. This is probably my favorite Buzzcocks album now. In fact, what I did is after listening to this, I pulled out my their debut album. I had a first press French. It had a sticker on there, 100% punk. And Buzzcocks was a band I never really dove into. Peter Shelley's voice, I mean, I guess it's good, but I never did it for me. And I played their third one in a different kitchen or something like that. And I decided I'm going to purge those two. You know, I could get, you know, some pretty good money for those two. So I purged those two. And I'm keeping this one. And this is my favorite Buzzcocks album. And I did keep this one, though. I didn't listen to this, but I did keep it. Their singles going steady. That's all I need from the Peter Shelley stuff, you know. Now, another one that I listened to because of a new vinyl purchase was this. But I'm not going to show the new vinyl purchase. I'll do that next week. Sam Hain, Final Descent. The last Sam Hain record, or Saw Win, I guess is how you're supposed to pronounce it. But if you're going to spell it like that, man, it's going to be Sam Hain. And Glenn Danzig said both pronunciations are correct. This is a really, it's kind of a transitional record. It's a little cleaner than their kind of muffled sound from their previous three albums. It's got a guitarist, John Christ plays guitar on tracks 2 through 5. Side 1 are new recordings. Side 2 is kind of re-recording or touching up Unholy Passion, which was Sam Hain's second release. But yeah, this actually, I think it's Death in Its Arms. It actually, that has like a Misfits feel already to it, you know. But some of the songs kind of sound like Sam Hain, but they got a kind of like the Danzig feel, not quite as metal leaning, but it's got that chunky dun 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 guitar. And yeah, this was kind of a transitional record. And this is a record that I haven't really dove into and listened to all that much, to be quite honest. I know their first three like the back of my hand, but because of this recent purchase I got, I figured I'm going to listen to this, and I rather liked it a lot. And I also did listen to this one, their third album, probably my favorite by them. Really kind of muffled guitars. I don't know what, I don't think muffled, it's not muffled, but let's just say it's not audiophile. That's another direction that the vinyl community has gone into. And I remember Mazzy once asked me, he goes, well, but don't you want the best sounding version of that record? And I'm going, no, not necessarily. I mean, this is not the Sam Hain, the Misfits, and Gigi Allen. It's not about the best sounding, you know? Yeah. Anyways, this is a great record, man. And I did pull out one Misfits record. This is 12 Hits from Hell, the MSP recordings from 1980. No, this was not released at the time. 2 singles, the Halloween single, Halloween and Halloween 2. 2 songs from this session were released as a single, and 3 hits from Hell. 3 songs. So 5 songs from this were actually released. But yeah, these didn't get released until, I think unofficially, until the 1990s. This is a more modern version. It says Caroline Records, but I don't know if this is a boot or not. But it does sound very good. Now, in the vein of the Buzzcocks, another band that I bought this actually used in the dollar bins in the probably 78 or so, and it was definitely less than $1. I mean, it was in the used bins. And I never really dove into this. I didn't like it as much as the Clash or the Sex Pistols or the Dickies or all that other punk that I was really into. I don't know, it was kind of poppy in that. So I thought, you know what, let me give this a spin and maybe I'll purge this one, you know, along with those 2 Buzzcocks. But no, man, this is fantastic. I really dug this. I only listened to side 1, but yeah, this is not going anywhere. And another one, an album, Sick of It All, a hardcore band from New York. I think they came out in the late 80s. This is an album that came out in 2000. And I think I've listened to it once when I first got it, and I haven't listened to it again. I thought, you know what, this might be one that I might want to purge. Now, this is really good, man. I really dig this. I don't think it's considered one of their classic albums or anything, but I really dug this, man. Really liked it. And the final one that I played with the intentions I might purge it. Well, actually, the next one maybe too. Is this Radio Birdman Radios Appear. Now, this is the overseas version. And I didn't know it at the time, but it's got extra songs, and they're not in the same order as the original album, which kind of bummed me out at the time when I found that out. And I never really gave this a really good, you know, deep dive listen. So I thought, you know, let me put it on real quick. And I really dig this, man. This is a good record, and I'm going to keep it. I mean, if I ever found an original, or how the original, the song listing of the original, I would probably get it, and I might get rid of this, but I don't think so, man. I like the extra songs on here. This is all I know, you know. And, oh no, the next 2. This one here, I was thinking, this is one. This is TSOL, Beneath the Shadows. I never listened to this one that much when it came out. Came out in '82. I liked their first EP a lot. It was like, that's kind of straight up hardcore punk rock. And the next one with the ghost in the graveyard, I dig that one. This one I never got into. Keyboards are featured quite prominently. And I put soft focus on, and it starts out with a keyboard right away. And I'm thinking, okay, I can see why I didn't really get into this, but I really liked it. I only listened to side one. It's on Alternative Tentacles. But yeah, I really dug it. It kind of reminds me of the second album by Christian Death, but I don't think the songwriting is quite as good as the Roz Williams Christian Death songs. But yeah, this is a keeper. God darn it. I almost made it through. And this one here, Rank and File. This is another one. I bought it when it came out. I didn't like it. I mean, it didn't do nothing for me. I put this one on with the intentions, this one might be a goner. And I really dug this, man. This is a fantastic record, man. Rank and File, Sundown. It's the two dudes from the Deals. Now, I did have a Deals comp, and I did purge that one. And their second album with a rattlesnake on it, I put the first song on, and it was horrible. I didn't even listen to the rest of it. I purged that one. But this is a keeper, man. This is fantastic. Cowpunk, I guess you call it, with definitely a punky edge. But yeah, this is fantastic. And those are the records I've been listening to. Take care, everybody. Yeah, one viewer, this is a little ways back, I guess his wife asked him, is Lionel Richie blind because he's always looking off into space? And I've also had people ask, are you on the spectrum, because how like autistic people, they don't look people in the eyes, they kind of like tend to do this. And the answer is no. The thing is, though, if I'm talking to a person, of course I'm going to look them in the eyes, but I'm the only person here, so I kind of tend to forget to look into the lens. Kind of like Darby Crash, he would always forget to sing into the microphone, it's that kind of thing. Anyways, take care, everybody.